Welcome to 6th grade history. This is lesson 160. We're going to be looking at pages 326 to 328, and then there's a comprehension check to answer on paper. Also for homework, you're going to reread the pages to 326 to 328. Do CCU 17, D all, and then go to CCU 18. We're going to do D1 through 3, E1 through 7, and F1 through 3. All on paper. It can be with the CC. You can get it all on there and label them. Also study pages 318 to 328 for the quiz on Monday. All right, so I'm going to ask a couple questions as review. Going back to that last section of chapter 17. So the Indians who established a great empire in the Andes, who were they? The Incas, okay? So this is thinking back. So get thinking back to chapter 17. The man after whom the Americas was named. Amerigo Vespucci, good job. The George Washington of South America, what was his name? Simón Bolívar. And the names of two other military men who helped free South Africa. Remember the other two men? Jose de San Martin and Bernardo O'Higgins. Okay. Why did the Inca government need good roads across its empire? The government officials needed to send and receive information quickly. Good roads would help messengers to travel fast, right? Why do you think Simón Bolívar was called the George Washington of South America? Well, like George Washington, he was a strong leader who led the people of his country and the surrounding countries in their fight for independence from a European country. He also gave his own money to help in the war efforts, and so those were things that George Washington also did. All right, a couple more questions. Moving on to chapter 18, what is the capital of Peru? Lima, Peru, all right? The landlocked country with two capitals. Bolivia. And the world's highest capital city? La Paz, which is in Bolivia, all right? What was, as a bonus question, what was the other city that was the capital of Bolivia? Sucre, good job. And then the last one, the highest navigable lake in the world is what? Lake Titicaca. Lake Titicaca, very good. All right. Okay, so today we're looking at Colombia, Venezuela, and the three Guianas, all right? So first of all, Colombia. All right, Colombia is known for a lot of things, and one of the things that it's known for is its fine coffee. Even though Brazil makes more coffee, produces more coffee than Colombia, Colombia is known as the finest coffee. So when you talk to someone who loves coffee, and if they are true coffee connoisseurs, they would want to or have tried Colombian coffee, all right? They also are a leader in producing emeralds. More than half of the world's emeralds come from Colombia. Bogota is the capital of Colombia. It is one of, it's a very high city. It's over almost 9,000 feet above sea level, surrounded by mountains. And so they have a lot of tire, chemical, pharmaceutical industries, and more than 30 bank headquarters. Wow, okay. So they're very well set up there for business. Venezuela is home to South America's largest lake, Lake Maracaibo, and this lake is in northern Venezuela, and So it is one of those places that people like to visit. Another thing that Venezuela is known for is waterfalls. There are two waterfalls, Cucunam and the Angel Falls being the world's highest waterfalls. And actually, it is very hard to see Angel Falls because of all the foliage around it. It's hard to see it from the ground, all the trees. So the best spot to see it is actually from the air. And in 1935, there was a pilot, an American pilot by the name of James Angel, who became the first white man to see the falls. And I believe that's where it got its name. They also produce a lot of oil. They found oil underneath Lake Maracaibo, and it became a very they became something that they were able to get that out, and they became wealthy from all of that. Okay, sorry about that. Venezuela is one of the leading producers of petroleum and natural gas, and that would be because of the oil. So they do a lot of the manufacturing there to change it into that petroleum and gas. They do a lot more with your industrial and then factory work, that their agriculture has decreased, so they don't do a lot of farming. They do still produce sugarcane, coffee, cacao. They have beef and dairy cattle that graze, and so that is still part of Venezuela, but it's not as much because of all their development. Caracas is the capital and largest city, and it's located in this region. It's actually one of the most developed cities in South America, and a lot of that comes from the discovery of oil and all of the factory work that they have. Okay, so now we're going to look at the three Guianas. Guyana means land of the waters. It's a marshy area that's up here at the top of South America. Guyana is the largest of the three countries. It was controlled by Great Britain until 1966, when it gained its independence. The official language is English. They produce, or their land has bauxite deposits. It also grows sugarcane and rice well, and because of the swampy area, rice grows in good swampy areas. And so it is, it is now an independent nation. Of the three, they were all European-owned nations at one time. Now French Guiana is the only one that is controlled by a European nation, which is France. Okay, so they are a French overseas department of France. It was for many years a place to put political prisoners, for prison camp and political prisoners. One of the famous prisons was on Devil's Island, and today you can visit the old prison and even sleep in some of the cells that have been converted into an inn. And so they are not used for that any longer. They're also known for satellite launching base for Europe, for the European Space Agency, launching most of Europe's satellites. And so that was something that they were well known for. Most of the descendants there are are black slaves that were brought there by the French. And then Suriname was called Dutch Guiana. It was a prize colony for the Netherlands for over 300 years. And in 1975, it became independent, and they changed the name to Suriname. And so there's a great mix of people there, European, Black, and many people control in the government business. And then the Hindustanis and Indonesians do the farming and industrial work. They also have bauxite, aluminum, and they grow the rice because of the swampy areas there as well. All right, and so that's your 3 Guianas and Colombia and Venezuela that we've been talking about. So you are going to study pages 318 to 328 for the quiz on Monday. Also make sure that you read these pages for today's reading. Read 326 to 328. Answer the CC on chapter check, comprehension check on paper. And then don't forget to do the homework as rereading these pages and doing the CCU 17D all and the CCU 18. You have those, your parents have those on the sheet, so I'm not going to repeat all of those numbers, but if you do have a question on that, please let me know. And go ahead and I'll let you get to your work, and then health will be your last subject for today, and then you'll get to have the weekend. So have a good day, and we'll see you in the next lesson.